Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I am feeling a little nostalgic and I wanted to take the time in this episode to discuss something that I never really went in depth with, and that is the origin story of my psoriasis. Now, over 21,000 views on those two videos collectively. It was posted on July 8th, 2018. Just taking a glance here, looking at how long ago that was. I think it's about, we're coming up on 3 years now, this July. And I think there's probably a lot of you who have wondered, when this actually started, because in the video, I didn't really give a lot of details in either of those videos of, the very beginning. And so I would say, going back in time, it would have to be around the age of 25. I don't know exactly when. I know that I did go to my doctor at some point complaining about it being really itchy, basically all in here, and it didn't seem like a very big portion. It was probably, I don't know, that much, and that was it. It wasn't really bad, but it was excessively itchy in that area. And at the time I was working in a warehouse. I worked there for about 3 years, and there was potentially the stress from that job. I also got injured at that job as well, and that basically ended my time there. And I ended up, developing this all in and around the same time. And the person I was dating at the time, she saw how I was struggling with it, because when we would hang out, at the time I was using, so I had some samples of Dovabay, and Dovabay was like a clear gel, and basically you just put little droplets of it onto the scalp, as long as it's not, irritated or a cut, so that you're not actually like putting it directly into your skin, like under your skin. It's just supposed to go on the surface. And so I had that. When I ran out of that, I was also trying coconut oil, and she would notice me scratching it when we were hanging out, and she would always be telling me, don't scratch it. But the thing is, that's it's almost like an instinct. It's kind of like telling an animal, don't do that, like your pet, like your cat or your dog. If you say, don't do that, chances are they're still going to do it. And it's the same thing, right? Like, a natural reaction for me, or anybody really, is when you have an itch, you rub your skin, you scratch your face or whatever. And so I was constantly scratching it. And the thing is, the thing that I struggled with was obviously not scratching it and making it worse, but with the gel, putting that gel on, or coconut oil or whatever, I constantly had to be aware of what I was sitting on, what I was wearing. I couldn't wear hoodies, certain hats, like a toque or something. I was constantly getting oil on these items. And the thing is, I had already been dealing with, my receding hairline and dandruff for quite some time. And basically, I'm trying to juggle all these three things. I was shaving the sides and the back a little bit at that time as well, just because I was wearing a hat at work. So I put my baseball hat on, and basically wherever the hat wasn't touching, I would shave all of that off. And I do generally like shorter hair, so that was one of the reasons. But it also helped a little bit before the psoriasis, obviously, and the application of the gel or the coconut oil, which I was using when I ran out. Now, after I lost my job, my girlfriend left me as well, and there were, I think it was 2 years, maybe 3 years, where I was kind of doing odd jobs. I actually turned to writing because of that breakup. So obviously there were some good things going on in my life at that time, but I basically fell into a rut. And my psoriasis, whether it was the stress from the job or the breakup, I can't pinpoint it exactly, but it just got worse. And I didn't realize how badly it was becoming, because in the summer, I wasn't really worried about scratching it because I was, I had a summer job, I believe for 1 or 2 of those years. And basically I was just focusing on writing and trying to make a little bit of money here and there just to kind of be able to pay my bills, because I guess I was depressed. I don't really know where my mind was at that point in time, but I just knew that I was struggling. And when I ended up recovering from that and getting a new job, I did have bad psoriasis. It wasn't just that little portion on the back of my head. It had gotten to the point where it was obviously spreading, and so my skin was a lot more irritated, a lot more red, and it was slowly progressing to a larger portion on the back of my head, and I ended up starting to shave, I would say 2 inches maybe for here. So I would use my buzzers to go straight up to about here, which I currently have done. And so about half of that distance was straight razor. And that was because I was trying to improve the process of putting more Dova Bay on it, or ointments or whatever, because I was trying a few different ones by that time. I don't know, I was probably about 28 or 29. And the thing is, I had so many different looks, even like covering up my receding hairline, which it still bugs me. But at the time I had my curly hair, I had grown it out, kind of covering it up. And it was not a look that I felt confident because I was learning acceptance of what was going on with my body and how I was aging. But there were times where I looked in the mirror, obviously, and was like, wow, I feel sexy, I'm confident today. But then there were other times where I just thought, like, I'm not happy with the way things are. And so I ended up having my hours cut from my one job when I was doing the little razor blade trimming. And basically I ended up having to start a new job, which is the current job that I have right now, which is awesome. And the horrible thing during that process was even more stress of the girl that I was dating at the time, my girlfriend. She didn't consider us a thing for whatever reason. Decided to break things off at like 7 or 8 in the morning on Valentine's Day, which is, by the way, ladies, the worst thing you could ever do. And guys, don't ever do that to anyone either. And, I played it off. I played it off really cool, because obviously that's a problem with that person and not you. It's not a reflection of you. So as strong as I tried to be, it felt shitty. It really was shitty. At the end of the day, it was so shitty that even when my best friend and his girlfriend or fiance, I don't remember if they were engaged at that point or not. Even though they took me out for Valentine's Day dinner, I was a mess. So the number one theme that has been with me this whole time is stress and obviously aging. So basically around 25 years old, moving up to my current age now, so in my early 30s. Basically, as you get older, it could be genetics, but stress, I think, is one of the major contributors. And because I'm only like self-evaluating my diet, I can't really say whether or not my diet has that big of an impact on it or not. And so I had that moment, started my new job. I started, kind of turning my life around, trying to be really happy, doing things that I was passionate about. And basically, that job is at a motorcycle dealership, and it allowed me to kind of face a past fear as well, which I will be talking about in a future video. And it was really good. I felt like I was turning my life around, but my psoriasis was already so bad. It was already, I don't know if you guys can see, but all the way down to about here on my neck. And it was just so bad. July 8th, 2018, because I already been working my job, so I started in February, so end of February, so then February, March, April, May, June, I was maybe working there for 4 or 5 months, because based on when I uploaded that video, I wouldn't have uploaded it immediately, but pretty close to. So somewhere in that like 4-month span, because it was in the summer, or just before the summer, sorry. So February, March, April. So it could have been in March or April that I actually did shave my head and record that video. And then I guess I posted it a couple months later. But I came to this realization. I was actually playing volleyball with a friend of mine, and she was really awesome. She helped me through a lot. We've kind of parted ways. She was just super busy, and I never went back to volleyball. So, shout out to Ange, wherever you are. Appreciate it. And with her and the support of my friends, my best friend in particular, everyone just, and his current wife, now that they've progressed to that point, every single one of them really helped me through a lot of the, horrible situations that I found myself in. And ultimately, it was up to me to make that choice of shaving my head. And as you guys saw in the video, I will link it somewhere if you haven't seen it already, or if you want to watch it again. You will see that I literally said, I don't want to be dramatic about this. It's finally come to this moment. So I had been thinking about it for a while of just, should I do this? Should I just be done with my struggle with psoriasis? I mean, I can't get rid of it. I can't, cut the psoriasis off, but, maybe shaving my head and, being able to just put ointment directly on it and not worry about my hair bothering it or whatever, and letting it breathe. Maybe this is the ultimate solution. And I think that it was. I'm going to be doing it again, but I just wanted to kind of go back in time, especially now that I've let my hair grow out a little bit during this pandemic, and just to kind of remind myself of the struggles that I went through in the beginning, because lately my psoriasis has kind of gone up and down, and it's been some days, or some weeks rather, where the days just build and build, and then the whole week I get, bumps because there's like acne or zits or whatever, like, and I'm thinking, like, what the heck, like, this is, I don't remember it being this bad. So I feel like it's almost getting worse. So I'm almost kind of torturing myself right now. So that's pretty much my story of, when I developed psoriasis, how it's kind of evolved, how it's changed my life, the people who have been in my life who have helped me through a lot of things. Thank you to everybody. And, now it's just kind of the next step of, telling, I guess, more stories, and sharing them with you guys. There are a couple more videos that I think I will end up making just to kind of elaborate on what it is that I've had to go through. And a lot of you guys want to do Q&As based on the comments. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing a live stream. Now, the plan is to do this on a Monday morning, most likely. It will be done on a Monday. And so I may not actually post a vlog. I'm going to actually do a live stream instead. Now, this won't be posted just yet. So when this video comes out, so if you're watching this right now, it is probably going to be next Monday or whatever. Let's put it this way. If you're not subscribed, subscribe now. If you are subscribed, you will get a notification of when I'm going live. I'm going to do it about a week in advance. I'm going to give you guys lots of notice. And so what we're going to be doing is either a Q&A session, or if I actually have the option to set everything up with the camera and the tripod, I am actually going to be shaving my head again live for you guys. So if you're interested in that, leave a comment, like the video, and just, let me know what your thoughts are on that. I'm going to be doing it regardless because, as I just mentioned, my head, the back of my head is really, really irritated. So I can't stand having this much hair on my head for any more than like 1 or 2 weeks longer. So it's going to be going again, and I'm never doing this again. I'm never letting my hair grow out again because it's not helping. I mentioned in another video I was experimenting of how long I could go for without cutting my hair, and I think I've reached my limit. So hopefully you guys like this insight, and I hope you guys are also excited for the upcoming video, which is going to be, like I said, either a Q&A session or me shaving my head. Chances are I'm going to be shaving my head. I don't care if there is 1 person watching or 0 people watching the live feed. I'm going to be doing it because I need to do it for myself. And if you guys are feeling like you can't do it, just consider this kind of an anniversary video, the upcoming video, an anniversary video of saying, you know what, I did it once before, I'm going to do it again, I'm going to prove how strong I am and just how much better of a person I've become and how much progress I've made. And it's all about instilling confidence in one another and uplifting one another. So I hope that this video helps you guys in some way. If you're struggling with psoriasis, just know that it's definitely not easy. But if you stick together and you share your story and just let people know that they're not alone, that to me is a huge, huge deal. It shows your support for others, and when others see your videos, hopefully it will give them confidence to do something that they never thought possible.